Michael Radler, Double Dipper, Kathleen Miller, W. Tadeo, S. Alberti, your boss, taxpayer-subsidized Sheriff Todd Baxter, will receive in the mail from me Freedom of Information Law documents. I have in my hand. These are 8 documents. Now I'm going to read them to you. I'm going to emphasize the key word in a Freedom of Information Law document with the appropriate finger. There's the Freedom of Information Law. There's the key word right there, law. L-A-W. I know you were told there'd be no spelling law. L-A-W. Public employee payroll for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County Jail. Do you understand that? I'm going to read that again with the qualifying sentence. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Quote, the public employee payroll for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County Jail. Excuse me, Michael, Kathleen, W&S, can you ask your boss, Sheriff Baxter, sometime today to say in the office, Sheriff Mongo's back. He's breaking up the whole town. You've got to help us, please. This is the Michael Radler foil. Because you, Michael Radler, were a Monroe County Sheriff employee for 25 years, and then you retired. And then you were rehired as an assistant to the sheriff. So that is why this is the Michael Radler foil. Because you, Michael Radler, are a double dipper. No way around that fact. You didn't go to New York State local retirement system and say, I'm retired, I'm going to be rehired, so I'm not going to collect my retirement paycheck. You didn't do that at all. Michael Radler form. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Quote, the cost to taxpayers of Monroe County, the state of New York, if Michael Radler of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is simultaneously collecting his retirement paycheck and a paycheck from his present employment as an assistant to Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter. Excuse me, Michael, Kathleen, W&S. Can you ask your boss, Sheriff Baxter, today to say sometime throughout the day, wait a minute, there might be a legal precedent, of course, land snatching, land, see snatch. Freedom of Information Law. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. I'm going to show you the key word law. Do you understand? The key word right there in a foil. The cost for a trip to Atlanta, Georgia, for a hotel or boarding for Monroe County Sheriff employee Ryan Fisher to attend the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia with his canine dog, Lola, on February 3rd, 2019. Did Ryan Fisher go to Super Bowl Atlanta with Lola and the Kinks? Were the Kinks there? Did they play for Lola? Did the Kinks keep Lola entertained there at the Super Bowl with Ryan Fisher? What is Ryan Fisher doing out of Monroe County, out of New York State, in Atlanta, Georgia, 1,000+ miles away? What's he doing there? Did Ryan Fisher play in the game? Because I watched that game. Where was Ryan Fisher on the field? Did Lola play in that game? What is Ryan Fisher doing in Atlanta, Georgia with his canine Lola? And did you expend taxpayer dollars? Did your boss, Todd Baxter, spend taxpayer dollars to send Ryan Fisher to the Super Bowl Atlanta with his canine dog Lola? And you'll refuse to answer. Excuse me, Michael, Kathleen, W&S, can you ask your boss, Sheriff Baxter, to say sometime today in the office, perhaps in a meeting, this is the bill that will convert the State Hospital for the Insane into the William J. Lepetamain Memorial Gambling Casino for the Insane. Here we have a Freedom of Information Law document. I'm going to show you the key word there. Right there's a law, L-A-W, law. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Quote, the cost of taxpayers of Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter has expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits with failure to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Are you, Kathleen Miller, being sexually harassed on the job at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office by your male coworkers? Do you, Kathleen Miller, know if your female coworkers are being sexually harassed by your male coworkers on the job at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? Sexually harassed is male coworkers touching female coworkers inappropriately on the genitals, the breasts, any part of their body. Sexual harassment, because I know you need a brief definition, is making disgusting, vile, and vulgar remarks, using the word fuck, and using words to describe anatomy to other employees. Sexual harassment is when you're constantly asking another employee out on a date. For example, would you like to have a drink with me after work? And that employee constantly refuses and says no. And that question is asked again and again. Would you like to go out? Would you like to have a drink? Do you understand the definition of sexual harassment? It has 1,000 different definitions because it manifests itself in 1,000 different ways. So I just gave you a few. Is that happening, Kathleen Miller, at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office of your boss, Sheriff Todd Baxter? Freedom of Information Law. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of. I'll point to the key word there for your boss who has absolute and total contempt for the law, LAW. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Quote, the names and charges of every inmate of Monroe County Jail from January 1, 2018 to December 31, 2018, end quote. That jail is a public facility. I want to know who is at that jail, the name, the charge. You send me the list. It's that simple. And, of course, you'll refuse to comply. I was at your jail as an innocent man. I wrote 5,000 words about what goes on at your jail. I know everything about your jail. So, I'm walking around in the center of the jail. And you know where that is. You've been there. I'm taking notes constantly. Everything I see, I'm writing down. And it's shocking what I see. And someone's watching me, a jail employee, and I know this individual's name. And he sees me writing constantly on a notepad. And I have to go to the desk and ask for more paper because I'm writing so much about what I see. And what I see is nauseating. From your jail employees, not from the inmates. From your employees at the jail. So, I noticed this one jail employee following me around one day. And when I say following me around, let me clarify that for you. He's following me around. So I go back to my cell, and the fact that I have to say cell as an innocent man enrages me. And I walk into my cell, and I sit down on the bed. I'm alone in there, and in comes your jail employee. And he stands in front of me. I have my notebook in my hand like this. He reaches out to grab my notebook away. He puts his hand on my notebook and I pull it away. He leans over and takes my wrist and wraps my wrist behind my back. And then he takes my arm, he shoves my arm up behind my back. And then I release the notebook. I have to. And this is pain. And I try to fight off the pain. I like to think that I can handle pain. And it doesn't go away. So I subsequently got to go to the jail doctor. So I go to the front desk and I say, I need to go to the doctor. My arm's bothering me. That's all I said. I need to go to the doctor. My arm's bothering me. And who comes to my jail cell to get me to go to the doctor? The guy who attacked me, your taxpayer-subsidized Monroe County jail employee. And we go to the doctor. So I tell the doctor what I just told you. And when I get to the part about this attack, the doctor says to me, who assaulted you and twisted your arm behind your back? And I say to him, the guy standing behind me. Application for access to records, freedom of information law. I'm going to point to the key word there, law, L-A-W, law. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Quote, the cost of the sale of valid supplies purchased taxpayer dollars and affixed to a building at 2025 Penfield Road to monitor if Christopher Chichester for 26 Sanders Farm Drive walks through the parking lot next to the building. Excuse me, Kathleen, Michael, WNS. Can you say or ask your boss, Todd Baxter, to say, wow, I got to talk to you. Come here. Have you gone berserk? Can't you see that man is a nit? Haha, wrong person. No offense intended. So this is the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot that just 6 fanatics from your blazing saddles, Monroe County Sheriff's Office, came to my house, descended on me, for standing right here in the corner to tell this toothless grass-cutting loser from Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care that Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own that land. I'm outside for 30 seconds, and your 6 fanatics descended on me. And they don't own that land. They can't prove they own that land. And you handcuffed me. You put me in your car. You took me to your jail. I'm in the jail. You handcuffed me inside the jail. I couldn't reach the toilet. I'm in there for 3 hours, and I urinated on myself twice. So, application for access to records. This is called a Freedom of Information Law document. I'm going to show you the key word here. There's the key word. Tell your boss, Todd Baxter, what the key word is in a foil. It's law, L-A-W. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. Quote, the cost of taxpayers for a photography session approved by Monroe County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter to photograph 13 public employees underwater in a pool. Now, what I want to know, in this pathetic, disgusting, revolting photograph that I absolutely love, are you Michael Rather, double dipper in this photograph? Are you Kathleen Water underwater in a pool here? Is that you in one of these wetsuits, Kathleen, sweetheart? Are you W? Are you in this photograph here? Are you in there? S. Alberti, huh? Where are you? It's 13 of you. I'm only talking to 4 of you, Michael, Kathleen, W, and S. So which one of you? Are you down here in this pool here? Total incompetence and buffoonery. I love it, baby. So, and then we have how your pathetic, disgusting, repulsive organization is always alongside the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters. There's your vehicle right there. Wegmans the other day went off by. I had my camera. I took it out. Oh, it's just fantastic right there. You see that? So, excuse me, Michael, Kathleen, W, and S. Can you ask your boss sometime today to say, Lily, legs, Lily, I cannot find the words to truly express my joy at the rekindling of our association. So, this is Freedom of Information Law. I just read them to him. I'm going to mail these to your boss, your criminal boss, Todd Baxter. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to ignore everyone, especially the one for the payroll. And I'm going to find out what everybody's paid there. I'm going to buy a link. I'm going to create a domain name. I'm going to send your payroll to every single reporter and editor at the Democrat Chronicle, every radio and television station in Monroe County. You know what's going to happen when that happens? Your boss, Todd Baxter, was never reelected because people are going to be enraged at your salaries at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And I just want the base salary. I'm not even talking about how overtime is calculated, time and a half, because there's different ways you can do it. Just the base salary, because you obviously have overtime. How are you doing overtime at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? I'm going to tell you how you're doing overtime in a sleazy, unethical, and corrupt way. That's how you're doing overtime. So, I'm attacked at the gym by this violent thug, Jermaine Benman. I go to Penfield Town Court as an innocent man, and I'm delivered to Monroe County Jail without the prosecutor saying one word in Penfield Town Court. I look over, she doesn't say anything because I'm not guilty of any crime. And as a free man, as an innocent man, I'm delivered to Monroe County Jail. And I have an envelope from your jail. And I write on this envelope 7 words. And I taped this envelope to my jail cell. And it says, Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.